Somebody else said, I want to get into podcasting to let out what's in my brain. Okay, why haven't you? We can find a million excuses to not, or we can just do it, because odds are what's in this person's brain, it would be extremely inspiring to other people. And you never know where it trickles off with others. Everybody's not for everybody. So even this message isn't going to be for everybody. However, if it's for you and you know you've been, slacking off on something only you could do, whether it's on spiritual side or not. Maybe you had a dream to make some type of alternate version of NASCAR for minorities or something. I don't know. Might have been something only you could do, that you had the knowledge and structure to do. But if you never did it, other people can't join in on, what you had to create. And somebody else said, I've been holding off. I'm looking at some things to get started. Let me stop playing. Hey, yo, stop playing. Let me stop playing is like the number one comment that we tell ourselves when we know we on some. I said I wasn't going to be cussing, but just a tiny bit. When you're on some F stuff. There we go. I don't want to, get too bad on here. When you effing off. You know what I mean? You know when you're slacking. You know when you need to come with it. And you know when you're not running the race that you could be running, and you should only be running the race with yourself, but when you're not even competing with yourself. You know when you're slacking. You know when I need to do this, I need to do that. I could do this better. I could do that better. I'll wait another day. I could start this. I could do that. Maybe tomorrow. I'll be a better person tomorrow. I'll do this better tomorrow. Only I can be this person. I'm not going to do it today. I could do this better and help more people and serve more, but I'm not. Well, it's not about you. It's not. Ooh, you in trouble. I'm putting everybody on blast with this one. Everybody. Nobody's safe. Not even me. Alright, so recently I created a new Facebook group. And I asked the question, are there any podcasters in the group, right? So recently I created a Facebook group for, helping people get more of their content out there within the spiritual community, because I do want to just have more conversations and more discussions around certain topics. And I feel like it's really hard to find everybody's content. So, I kind of made a group to kind of help bring more of us together, right? So I asked the question in the group, are there any podcasters in the group? Because lately, the last week or two, I've been looking for, podcasters to interview with on like the spiritual side of things. One thing that I did notice, major side note, not many tarot readers have podcasts. So I might just start like some type of tarot readers podcast, just because I can come at it from a different space, because I'm not actually doing the reading. So I'll probably drop a tarot readers podcast, and that might be fun, but I'll do it under all the Ospirii stuff. But either way, that's neither here nor there. So continue with the story. I asked in the group, are there any podcasters in the group? This season is coming to spread awareness and conversations. Now, I ain't gonna put their name on blast. But one of the first comments said, I'm taking this as confirmation that I need to stop playing and get back to my podcast. I'm taking this as confirmation I need to stop playing and get back to my podcast. You're in trouble if, when I said that, you started thinking about all the things you were supposed to be doing right now, but you still not doing right now. You over here watching this video. You over here procrastinating. Taking this as confirmation that I need to stop playing and get back to my podcast. I can't podcast with you if you're not doing your podcast. See, the thing people don't realize is if we're not in place with what we're supposed to be doing, or how we're supposed to be moving, then somebody can't alley up to me if I'm sitting on the couch. You get what I'm saying? There's so many different projects out there that I could have been a perfect fit for, that I could have been a great fit for, working with other people, and folks look around like, damn, ain't nobody here, I guess I'll do it myself. And with your podcast or your YouTube or your anything, folks are out there looking for it, and they're missing out. Oh, there's other stuff like that. No, there's not. There's really not. Oh, other people talk about this, other people talk about that. Okay, but that's them doing their thing. You're not doing your thing. You got something in you that you're supposed to be doing. And you know good and well, if you were supposed to be doing a podcast or anything else, if you did that podcast consistently, every day, well, not every day, but every week, every week, for a year or two, it would have grown exponentially. But there's two big ass problems that, everybody's dropping the ball on. I dropped the ball on this, so, I'm not lecturing y'all from a place where I'm exempt. I've done the same exact things. So, but the two big things that you're dropping the ball on is you're not starting something only you can do. I look at the Ospirii stuff. I don't think anybody else could have done it the way I would have, because it doesn't exist. The Ospirii stuff I have not seen. So if I would have procrastinated and not done that and waited for somebody else to do it, it never would have got done. It wouldn't have been able to reach the people it can reach. It can't help the people it could have helped. You get what I'm saying? And the second thing is the consistency. The first part is not getting started. The second part is the consistently keeping up with it. You don't get to just start and not do it anymore. You don't get to just start and take a few days off. You don't get to just start and then get people into your podcast, and then after 3-4 weeks you don't podcast anymore. What's our smart dude? Slow motion this side. You don't get to just start and stop. And I already apologize in advance for everyone that I've, started and stopped. I had a Twitch community that I was growing on Twitch, and then one of my PlayStations broke. And even though I could have used the other PlayStation that I had, I saw it as it wasn't the time for gaming. You know what I mean? So align your stuff, but it wasn't time for me to step into gaming. I had to work on this instead. The spiritual side was way more important than the gaming side of things that I wanted to get into. So, stay consistent. If you don't want to stay consistent, don't start. Don't start if you don't want to stay consistent. But if you start, you have an obligation to remain consistent. Consistency and getting started, that's 66%. If you want that 100, you gotta, stay focused on your growth. And it helps to not focus too much on feedback and not look at the negatives as something bad. Don't look at it. Don't be so hard on yourself. And if you're anything like me, I'm extremely hard on myself. So, really just get started. Like, there's too many things out there, too many things that only you can do that you're not doing. If you're watching this video and you're not doing something, go ahead and get that fixed, yo. Get it fixed. So, now you text me back. Don't text me back now. People don't text me the whole time I'm not recording. Then I start recording, and then I start getting all these notifications. So, I'm gonna tell you a true story. This really, really happened. I'll leave out some details because if she's watching this, and I don't know her name. If she's watching this, I don't want her to get mad at me again. So I don't want her getting mad at me again. But so I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a story that put this in perspective for me, that changed how I approach almost everything. And I won't say I do it all the time. I won't say that I'm great at this all the time. But this interaction changed a lot of stuff for me. What'd I say? Didn't I say it when I start? Hold on, guys. Pause. I'll be right back. It's my other phone. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a story on why I look at this differently than I used to, and how this might actually help you if you kind of understand the same type of thing that got kicked back at me. All right, so I was at a Grant Cardone conference, not the most spiritual place to be, because when you're at a conference like that, it's business. It wasn't, actually it was pretty high ticket. It was a high ticket event. I think it was only about 60 of us there, so it wasn't something that was like free to the public at all. This is a place where, you know, business owners that are doing well over 6 to 7 figures per month. I mean, per year. I mean, some are doing per month, but for the most part per year, they were there. So this is an environment that I go to when people have $100 million problems. I'm not saying that people aren't spiritual. I'm just saying, like, when we're there, it's, you know, militant focused. Like, we're there to work on something or learn something to apply to work, and learn something to apply to business. And that's it. We're not really there to, I mean, we're there to network and meet people a little bit, but for the most part, you pay to go to these events to get something that you can put back into your business that makes you more profit. That's the point. Again, it's not really a casual spiritual place. When you're in a place where people are selling you a program for $30,000, you're not really there to, you know, be casual. That said, at lunch, this whole thing caught me off guard completely, because a woman was there, and I can't remember if, I feel like I was already sitting at the table with a gentleman. I won't say his name, but we were having a great conversation. Some other people came around the table, and I think we were just talking about certain business aspects. We hadn't gotten to the spiritual stuff. Funny story with him later. I'm not gonna share it on this video, but with him, he actually ended up being into, like, you know, Chinese astrology and Chinese birth charts, and it was wicked because we were clicked and talking about business the whole time. I had no idea he was into that certain thing, but he actually pulled up, like, my chart. I was like, sure. So it was mind-blowing to even have that experience at a event, you know, that was like that. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm talking with this woman, and we're talking for probably about 30-40 minutes. It starts off with business, but then it goes into other topics that were a little bit more spiritual, and, you know, what we had to do and things of that nature. And we were having a great conversation, and we were having a great flow. And she's like, why aren't you, you know, getting out there more? Like, you know, you should be blogging, you should be out there podcasting. More people need to hear the stuff that you have to say. And I was like, not really. No, they don't. I'm just me. And then she started to get mad, and then she was like, no, you got a message that you need to be delivering. You need to be telling, you know, more people, you know, what you're talking to me about. And honestly, I have so many of these conversations, I can't remember specifically what we were talking about. I know, and this isn't a plug, but I know we were talking about like my book briefly. It was about duality consciousness and stuff like that. So I know it was in that realm, but she said, you know, I had a job to get more people and just have more conversations and just get more information out that only I could get out. And I'm like, no, it's just me. It's just little me. It's just me. And it's funny because later on, the other business guy that I was working with the Chinese birth chart, before he left, and he was making you know, a few $1 million in revenue a year. Before he left, he was like, the one piece of advice that I'll give you is stop saying I'm just when, you know, you're introducing, you know, yourself to people. Cause, you know, I'd be like, yeah, I'm just an entrepreneur, I'm just a small business owner. And he was like, stop saying I'm just, because you're just as big as everybody else here in this room. Don't shrink yourself. And that was like one of the last things he told me, and that it stuck with me. Like, it was like, damn, so I need to get out of the habit of saying I'm just. And I recognized I got into the habit of shrinking myself to make the people around me more comfortable, because it wasn't something that, it was just more comfortable for them, and it was something that I felt like I could do. Bad habits, got out of that. But combine that with, I'm telling, this woman, I'm just this. It doesn't matter. If I don't give this message out, it's not that big a deal. Plus, I don't like attention anyway. I was like, I'm a shy guy. I don't like attention. I don't want what comes with, getting out there at all. And she gives me this look. And when I say she gave me this look, I'm talking about homeboy from Django look. Like, she went from being cool to like disgusted. Like, she was mad at me. And I was like, oh boy, what'd I do? And then she was just like, that's so selfish. She's like, you're so selfish. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm over here, like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm over here doing my own little thing. But I'm helping people. I help people where I can. I help people, I was caught off guard because I thought myself as a more selfless person. It threw me off because she was like, yo, you're selfish. And I was just like, how? Like, I do so much for so many people. And on the flip side, I was like, but I do so much for so many people. But I was thinking like on a small side. I wasn't thinking of the extra stuff. She's like, you would not give out the messages you're supposed to give other people because it makes you uncomfortable. You would not get in the spotlight and help more people than you can help because you don't want attention. You're prioritizing everything that you want over ahead of, their soul paths and life missions. There's certain things that only you can tell them and you're not telling them. And she said a bit more, and I don't want to butcher what she said, but it was hitting me to the core. Like, I'm talking Tyson uppercuts, boom, boom, bink, like, damn. And with the combination of what the other gentleman said later on, I was just shrinking myself and diminishing the effect or value that I could have on others by not doing certain things, by not going all the way with the spotlight, by not fully being or saying everything that I had to be or say. And I had committed to working on it a little bit. I'd sprinkle, maybe a YouTube video here or there, or I'll sprinkle some knowledge where, it needed to be applied. But for the most part, I've kind of been hiding in plain sight. And not really caring much to get out there because I didn't see it as something that anybody else needed. And she corrected the mess out of me. I'm not sure where I'm gonna place this, so I'm not sure if I can use profanity or not. But she corrected OD, and she really broke down like not giving out your messages, not doing certain things for other people was selfish. It was super selfish. And to that point on, I couldn't take certain jobs because I knew it would block off me being what I needed to be, or it would come with like a clause where I couldn't talk about these type of things. You know what I mean? I couldn't talk about these conversations. So it just changed how I started to move with certain things. And I'm telling you all of this because if you have that podcast that you need to get out, you're probably doing the same exact things I was doing when I wasn't doing what I should have been doing. You know what I mean? I built the whole Ospirii platform for other people so they can start finding readers and things like that. But if I stuck to, just being selfish and doing the stuff primarily for myself, then I definitely would not have built that platform to give back or help more in other people. I wouldn't have built that platform to even be what it is. I wouldn't be making this video to help push somebody else to get that podcast out and stay consistent with it. You know what I mean? So it's ironic for me because I had even said maybe like 2 years ago that you never know how it's not who you help directly, but it's like a domino effect. If I help somebody with a piece of knowledge and that small piece of knowledge changes a dramatic amount of things for somebody else because it put that person in a certain situation where somebody else benefited worlds more than I would ever know, then it was still my duty and responsibility to put that out there, because if I did not, I'd be failing. And I feel like somewhere down there I lost myself somewhere, and it's kind of hard to find, and I don't even know where to put it. I don't even know why, you know what I mean? Well, I do know why to some degrees, is just making other people comfortable, but it's like at one point you got to stop being comfortable yourself. At one point you got to stop being, selfish with certain things, because whether it's a podcast or a YouTube or anything else, if you stop with consistency, you're letting down your audience. If you stop with if you never get started, you don't inspire the people you were supposed to inspire. And I think about the people who have motivated and inspired me most. Some of them I've never met in my life. Some of them I've got the fortune to meet after I've gotten to certain levels in myself. But if they never got to an area of excellence, or if they never got a message out to me, then I wouldn't even be, remotely who I am today. I'd be more lost than I was. And so, at the very least, if I've been inspired by other people, even if I just say like, I'm just this, or I'm just that, or, I don't want attention or certain things, it really doesn't matter what I want. Like, it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I do have an obligation to do what's inside me, and that's inspired me. So if it's in me, then it's in you. You have an obligation to inspire folks, even if it's only 2 or 3 people. That 2 or 3 people could be everything. It's not about how many people that you touch. It's not about, all the feedbacks. I know Gary Vee says, ignore the positive, ignore the negatives. Just accept them all for what they are. Be grateful for them. Be grateful that somebody's even paying you enough attention to give you feedback, positive or negative, but stick to getting something done for you. So, I got a long way to go. I got a freaking long way to go. But you might have a long way to go too. There are hundreds and thousands of people that are a million steps ahead right now. And I don't even mean like a million steps ahead. I just mean like with certain things that they've done, they're, a million more steps ahead in its progress. But they had to start somewhere, and they had to stay consistent with it. So really just look at anybody, look at where they are now. They had to start, and they had to be consistent. So I would say start, and I would say stay consistent, but you have something that you should be doing that's inside of you. Whether you think it's big or not, you need to get it done. This isn't really the time for any more and it's funny because since I made that post in the group, more people had said some of the same things. More people And it's not a big group. I just started it, but I started it. You know what I mean? So I started it. Now it's something that can grow. You have to plant your seeds. Best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today. So you have to plant the seed. So even though the group is just small and it just started, somebody else said, I want to get into podcasting to let out what's in my brain. Okay, why haven't you? We can find a million excuses to not, or we can just do it, because odds are what's in this person's brain, it would be extremely inspiring to other people, and you never know where it trickles off with others. Everybody's not for everybody, so even this message isn't going to be for everybody. However, if it's for you and you know you've been, slacking off on something only you could do, whether it's on spiritual side or not. Maybe you had a dream to make some type of alternate version of NASCAR for minorities or something. I don't know. Might have been something only you could do that you had the knowledge and structure to do. But if you never did it, other people can't join in on, what you had to create. And somebody else said, I've been holding off. I'm looking at some things to get started. Let me stop playing. Hey, yo, stop playing. Let me stop playing is like the number one fucking comment that we tell ourselves when we know we on some fuck shit. I said I wasn't going to be cussing, but just a tiny bit. When you're on some F stuff. There we go. I don't want to, get too bad on here. When you effing off. You know what I mean? You know when you're slacking. You know when you need to come with it, and you know when you're not running the race that you could be running, and you should only be running the race with yourself. But when you're not even competing with yourself. You know when you're slacking. You know when I need to do this, I need to do that. I could do this better. I could do that better. I'll wait another day. I could start this. I could do that. Maybe tomorrow. I'll be a better person tomorrow. I'll do this better tomorrow. Only I can be this person. I'm not going to do it today. I could do this better and help more people and serve more, but I'm not. Well, it's not about you. It's not. I was watching Doctor Strange the other day. Doctor Strange parallels my life like crazy. Like, between the accident, between being the asshole, being, successful on one side of the fence, and then getting to an accident and getting all spiritual. Like, Doctor Strange parallels my life ridiculously. To the degree I understand a lot of the symbolisms that they don't really make obvious. Doctor Strange is like my movie. But neither here nor there. What she told Doctor Strange was, it's not about you. It's not about you. You have an ability to be the best version of yourself for other people, to help them also, in their journey, whatever their journey is going to be. So you can keep effing off like you have been doing, not maxing out your max potential. Don't take it personal. If I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. This is not a personal attack. I do the same things. People don't like when I tell them stuff because I talk to them how I talk to me, and they don't like how I talk to me. But it is what it is. You've been slacking. You've been putting off something. Or you've been too focused on yourself being selfish. What benefits you, what's good for you, what's good for your life, and I'll do this, and then after I get this car, this house, this that, then I'll start taking care of other people better. I'll get all of these things in line first, and then I'll start doing other things better. First things first, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you should prioritize yourself and make sure you're good so you can provide for others. However, a lot of you have been running too far with it. If I were to not put out any of this stuff because I'm not exactly where I want to be and just super further ahead, then y'all would probably never get anything because I'm never satisfied with where I am. I'm not. I probably shouldn't be that way, but I'm competitive with myself. I have I can do that better spirit on myself, which I'm working on and getting out of. But the point is, if I did it, you're probably doing it too. So there's room where you're probably like, oh, well, I'll do the podcast after I do this, after I do that, after I do this, or I'll be better after I do all this. All that stuff is selfish, because right now you really do have the ability to do better than what you're doing. You have the ability to put out what only you can put out. You have the ability to do what only you can do. So stop BSing and just go get it done. The two things: go start and stay consistent, and just don't fall off. How many times do I keep starting these YouTube videos and then I'm like, all right, that's good enough, I don't need to do anymore? No, stay consistent, keep going, keep growing. So I'm gonna stay consistent with y'all. I'm gonna grow with you, you can grow with me. We can see where we go. Don't stop, compete. I'll catch you guys later. I forgot. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment if you have been putting something off, and then let me know in the comments what it is you've been putting off, what you're about to stay consistent with, and if there's an opportunity for us to collaborate in the first place. I might not be able to get to all of the comments if this gets too outrageous. However, feel free to reach out to me if there's something you want to collaborate and work on that aligns with the both of us. All right, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, and the Facebook group. I will leave a link to the Facebook group and everything else that I mentioned in the description. So if you did want to join the Facebook group, it's not really a place for trolls. Looking to move away from the bots and get around more of the real people. So if you want to get around more real people in the Facebook group, I'll just leave it in the descriptions. And that's about it. I will catch you guys on the next video. Thanks, peace and blessings, all that good stuff. Deuces.